your 2022 USA National Miss Ohio, and today I am with Hannah. Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing okay today. How about you?
I am doing a-okay as well. I babysat today, so I'm very exhausted. I am currently trying to not raise, but take care and train a 10-week-old puppy and studying for the NCLEX. So let's just say very mentally exhausted.
You basically have a small child in your home, so
For sure. All right, Hannah. Well, as you guys know, this is Mindy's Mindset Honest Conversations with Queens. And the purpose of this channel is just to give a safe space to all queens within USA National Miss or other systems to talk about their struggles and slash or mental illness. So, Hannah, what illnesses do you suffer from?
well, they haven't been like officially diagnosed by any means, but I do suffer from anxiety and depression, as do I think a lot of other people nowadays,
For sure.
especially. I think those are the big things mentally that I deal with, but I do also have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which I think can also kind of cause that anxiety and depression. So,
Oh, for sure. Do you mind explaining that polycystic ovarian syndrome to those who are listening? Maybe they don't quite know exactly what it is.
sure. So, it usually goes by PCOS because it's a little bit easier to say, but it's pretty common. I don't know the exact statistic, but I think it's like 1 in 10 or some like really big. Like a lot of
Wow.
people have it, and you wouldn't even know. But basically, it's different for everybody, but the main symptoms that are like help people diagnose it is that you have irregular periods. So I started my period when I was in like fifth or sixth grade or something, and I would go months without having one.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom also has it, so they were like, we might want to run some tests. And
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, okay. So for me personally, it's I think I have the lighter side of symptoms. Like I have irregular periods, but I'm on birth control that stimulates them to happen every month normally.
hmm,
So um but that's really all that affects me that I found so far. But some people can have like excessive hair growth in places that maybe you wouldn't want hair or I don't even know. Some girls get really, really bad cramps
oh,
before they start their period, but I know that can kind of happen anyway. But it just kind of depends on the person. And
for sure.
some people I think actually get like the cysts on their ovaries and having a period is very painful.
Ooh,
So I'm very fortunate where I don't have that. Or if I do, they're not painful. So um, but yeah, that's kind of
yeah,
the gist.
yeah. So with your PCOS, do you believe that your anxiety and depression stemmed from that, or do you believe you had anxiety and depression before being diagnosed with PCOS?
That's a difficult question. I definitely don't think that I experienced anxiety and depression when I was diagnosed because I was diagnosed, I don't think it was quite as early as fifth, sixth grade, but it was before high school. And I don't think that I really started noticing any anxiety and or depression until at least high school.
Yeah. What would your anxiety and depression look like on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I guess when I started noticing it, when it was really bad, I was like extra sensitive. I'm a sensitive person anyways,
Me too.
but but I mean, I was like crying every day. I didn't want to get out of bed, like just no motivation. And
For sure.
I normally, I don't want to say I'm a super motivated person, but I can get up and bang some things out on my to-do list. But yeah, when it was really bad, it was all gone. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, okay, something's not right.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, were you diagnosed with your PCOS before COVID or after? I'm just curious to see if maybe your anxiety and depression stimulated from this disease or possibly COVID or even both.
I was diagnosed way before COVID, like years before COVID.
Okay.
I think, and this is kind of a deep jump in topic, but I'm pretty sure there's one incident in my life that happened that I think really triggered the anxiety and depression to come out. I,
Hmm.
and it doesn't really have anything to do with PCOS. It's just like a general life event.
Yeah.
But um, but if you'd like me to talk about it, I will.
I'm open for you to talk about what makes you comfortable. So if you're not comfortable talking about it, I completely understand.
No, I'm comfortable to talk about it. It's just kind of a heavy topic. Um,
Yeah.
so basically, and if anybody watching this couldn't tell, this is my video gaming headset. So I play a lot of video games in my spare time. Um,
Hey, nothing wrong
and
with that.
that's right, that's right. Um, but whenever I was a freshman in college, so it was like November-ish of 2017, I was playing one of my video games and I had met a friend, and we're still friends now. So like it has a happy ending, just
Hmm.
so you know. But whenever I met this person, they were very, very depressed, like very probably lowest point of their life. They were considering committing suicide, and
Wow.
um, I decided to take it upon myself to pull him out of it. Um, and I didn't even know him, you know. I just met him, and I think it was probably just the the kind-hearted person in me. You know, I didn't I didn't want to feel responsible. Not that I would have been responsible, but in my mind I was like, you know, this person is opening up to me. They're telling me that they don't want to be here anymore, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm the only person that knows this. Like, if I don't try to help him and he ends up committing suicide, then I'm going to feel like it's my fault, you know?
Hmm.
So I spent hours of my day for, oh, I don't even months, um, talking to him. One time I even walked out of class to call him because he was like worked
Oh.
up. Um, but I mean, it took a big toll on my mental health,
Oh, I'm sure.
and I would be, we would FaceTime, and I would talk to him until I don't know 2 or 3 in the morning, and he's in the Eastern time zone, so it was 2 or 3 in
Hmm.
the morning Central time zone, my time zone, and I would be on FaceTime with him until he fell asleep because I couldn't rest until I knew that he was sleeping. I guess
Yeah.
he was comfortable. So eventually it got a little bit complicated. We started dating and we probably shouldn't have, but eventually I had to break it off with him, and I was like, my mental health is shot. I was like, I want to keep helping you, but I feel as if you're not going to be coming out of this anytime soon. And at that
Hmm.
point it had been a few months already of me
Yeah.
just every day constantly giving and feeling like I wasn't getting anywhere. So I think, well, I say I think because I don't really know, but I think maybe that sparked something in him because after I did that, he seemed to kind of turn around a little bit. But I don't know, kind of shorten the story a little bit because there's a lot more complications along the way. But he's he's fine now. Like
That's
he's
good.
doing very well. We're not dating, but um, but he still has days where he gets sad, just like everybody else.
For
But
sure.
he assures me that he has never felt that low since then. So
Well, that's awesome. I believe you come around in people's life for a lesson or a reason, and you gave that person a reason. And I'm so glad that you helped them stay here today. I know you mentioned you would have felt responsible. Unfortunately, I lost my dad to suicide in 2019, and for months, I felt it was my fault. I actually left for vacation with my boyfriend at the time, fiance now. His sister was getting married, and I wasn't quite ready to go on the vacation just because I didn't want to leave my dad. I didn't know like if this goodbye would be the last goodbye. And I feel like I pretty much did tell him goodbye before I left for vacation because when we came back, I did see him. We told each other good night, and then the following day, it was August 8th. I would watch my nephew at the time, so I went over to my brother's and early in the morning, around afternoon. So I went, took care of my nephew for the day and stayed the night. And August 7th was the last time I saw my dad. And on August 9th, when I woke up at my brother's, both my brothers came home and well, two my older brothers, they came there and said, Dad's gone. And I just felt so responsible. I felt I shouldn't have been here. I heard could have heard him get up, could have heard something. And I believe to those who are listening, if you had lost a loved one to suicide, just know it is not your fault. When it comes down to it, it's their choice and their actions. Everyone has a different belief system. I believe the devil took my dad over that night. His anxiety and depression just got the best of him, and the devil took him away from us. And just know it's never your fault, and it's okay to get help after that.
I definitely agree with that, and I'm very sorry to hear about your dad. Um,
Well,
I know I've heard about it, but I know I've never spoken to you about it directly.
yeah. Well, thank you very much, Hannah. I appreciate that. So you said this guy's doing much better.
He is, but
That's
still, I
good.
mean, kind of like you said, even though, you know deep down that it's not your fault and it's their choices and their decisions to do that, it's still really hard when you feel so attached to that person. Like,
For sure.
I could have done something else, or if I would have done this, or, you just kind of play like the what if game with yourself.
Mhm.
And I've had a million people tell me you just can't do that to yourself because it's not going to change what happened.
Yeah, for sure. So with you haven't been officially diagnosed with anxiety and depression, correct?
No, or at least I don't think so.
Mhm.
I did see a nurse practitioner, and
Oh, okay.
and I was on anti-anxiety depression medicine for a little bit.
Okay. So that's
But
what that was my next question, was just going to ask if you were on any medication, or pretty much how do you manage the symptoms of your anxiety and depression?
so I was on medication. I jumped from a few different medications until I found one that worked for me.
Mhm.
Um, and so I guess to kind of add to the puzzle here, after the guy that I've been talking about got better, we did start dating again
Mhm.
eventually. And we dated for like 3 years. We just recently broke up at the beginning of this year.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and I feel like continuing to date him still, all of that emotion and anxiety was still inside because I was like, you know, anytime he got sad or would like indicate or just even just like the slightest bit act off, I was like, alarm bells. Like I was going into like survival mode. Like I have to help him.
Yeah.
And so honestly, I kind of feel like that relationship caused me to have to be on medicine for it because it got that bad.
Yeah.
But since we've ended things and we're still very close, we're still best friends. Just took a break on the relationship department because
Mhm.
we didn't think either one of our mental health was it just wasn't healthy for us to
Yeah.
continue for now anyways.
Mhm.
But since we've broken up, obviously initially I was very upset because breakups suck.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, but I really think that the brunt of my anxiety and depression that I was feeling came from the relationship. And so after I got past that initial sadness of the breakup, I felt better, I guess. And so
Mhm.
I thought, I'm going to try no medication. And I haven't been on it. I don't even know the last time I took it. It's been a few months. And like
Okay.
I still feel anxious about some things. I still get sad, but I didn't feel like I needed the crutch of the medicine anymore.
Wow, well, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you. Do you use therapy, or do you do like at home type treatments?
Um, I did try the like talking to somebody therapy wise for a little bit.
Mhm.
But no, usually my therapy besides like I guess besides like hanging out with my friends and like having a good time, but animals are really my therapy.
Oh, for sure. Do you
Yeah.
mind elaborating a little more on that?
Yeah. So I have a lot of animals here at my house. You can't I don't I have a
I think
cat
there's a
over
cat in
there.
the background I see. Oh, there's one.
Yes. That's my cat Twister. Um but yeah, we have 7 dogs at my
Oh,
house.
wow.
Um, some of them were fosters, and working at the Humane Society, it's kind of hard not to bring them all home. But um, we've set our limit. The inn is full right now. But it's and especially I had one dog. He passed away last July, unfortunately, because
Aw.
he was like 13 or 14. It was his time. But
Yeah.
him especially, his name was Panda. He he was kind of black and white like a panda. I didn't name him,
Yeah.
but it was really fitting. But he especially was like my emotional outlet. Um, he would sleep with me every night, and he would lay like right he up against like my chest, right where all that anxiety builds up.
Mhm.
And he would just lay by me. He'd lick my face, when I was sad, or even if I wasn't sad. And he would just, I don't know, it just felt like everything just went away when he was around.
Aw.
Not that I don't get that now,
Yeah,
because just like being with animals and petting them and know that, if you screw up or if you make a mistake, they're going to love you unconditionally. Something
for
about that
sure.
is really comforting to me. And so just caring for them, and especially like working at the Humane Society, volunteer or employee wise, just knowing that, you're helping save lives, even though it is stressful and causes some anxiety some days, that at the end of the day, you're doing something good.
Oh, for sure. All right, Hannah. Well, I think we are going to be wrapping it up here. Is there any last minute messages you want to give to say for those who are listening?
Yeah, I would say, especially based on my experience that I talked about with my friend who wanted to commit suicide, do not be afraid to reach out for help. That was one thing that he really was against, because I think he felt embarrassed. But there's nothing embarrassing, and there's nothing wrong with getting help if you really need it. And there's people out there that want what's best for you and that want to help you.
Awesome. I love that, Hannah. Well, thank you so much for being a special guest on my Mindy's Mindset channel. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you at USA National Miss Nationals.
You too. It'll be soon.
Yes, it will. Take care. Bye.
Bye.